Hello, everyone. Hi, good morning, good afternoon. And this is Hannah from Funloop. I'm the director of the partnership here. So our company focus in China market only. And thanks for Mobidictum for the invitation. So I'm very glad to make a speech here with you, with everyone, to talk about China, to talk about our success cases, and to discuss, like in general, how to launch your game successfully into China market. Okay, so yeah, as everyone do before the speech about China, everyone like to throw some numbers. So I will not do like this. Everyone know the potential of China. Everyone know that China is huge. I'm just gonna show you some pictures that I shoot in the subway like randomly. So as you can see, like literally everyone, every single one is with their mobile device. So really the potential here is big. And most of the people, like most of our partners, what they do is they think of China after they make their game. What I want to say is that you better think of China even before you make your game. Think, oh, maybe this game is suitable for China, maybe I do something there. So this is kind of my advice here. Okay, so I will not give you a number, like everyone have the numbers, it's everywhere. Okay, so yeah, before like I dive into the cases this then, let's do a small quiz to see like how much you know about China, like see if you are like ready weaponed to enter here. So let's start from an easy one. Which language do we use in mainland China? A, simplified. B, traditional. Which one? This is the easy one. Okay, this is the easy one. So the right answer is simplified. Okay, number two. Okay, can your game contain in-app purchase in China? Yes or no? What a question. No chance, or can do but need to do something. Okay, so the right answer is for hyper casual game, like you don't have this concern, right? But still, someone want to keep it in your purchase, but in your China version, you cannot. If you want to do this, you need some documents. So the answer is C. But this document is gonna take like 6 to 9 months to get it. Not worth at all for hyper casual game. Okay. So in one word, for like casual hyper casual game, that in-app purchase is just minor. You just cannot contain an in-app purchase in China and just forget about it. Okay. The last question. Okay, this is my favorite one. So, what's the difference between TikTok and Douyin? Anyone know the answer? So it's always like surprising me that many of people don't know this fact. Okay, so I'm gonna share the answer. So the answer is this is two different apps. So basically, the content that you are seeing, we don't see them at all. We're using different apps. Just like the game that when you launch in China is a different bundle, for TikTok is the same. So in China, instead of TikTok, we call it Douyin. That's the answer. Yeah. So we are seeing we're using two different apps. Okay. So that's it for the small quizzes. Let's enter the real presentation. So a few words about us. We was founded in 2018. I personally was from Iron Source and the founders from Apple in this set. So our vision, our goal is to provide one-step solution for your titles, for your games in China to make growth from scratch. Okay. So yeah, let's talk about the pain points. When you think of China, what makes you not comfortable or what stops you from taking the move into China? Okay. So last time when I made a speech with Mobidictum, this page was also there. And the question was like, I listed only three. So this time I think I listed another question. It's the first question. So I think before even thinking about all the rest, the first thing is the game suitable at all? We have like we had few cases with many of our partners. Their game had huge success, worldwide version, right? In US, in everywhere. They are in top 10 for a long time. And then they come to us and say, shall we launch in China? And many of the time, our answer is no, we don't suggest so. Some of them listen, some don't note, and some of them didn't. Who didn't? Like they spent some time and it didn't work out. So even before like user acquisition, like before you're thinking about Android, this that first question is that is this game even possible in China because of the culture gap? Because let me make an example. So for example, the puppet, like this concept is just we're not familiar to this at all, right? So the first question is always, is this game possible in China? Then if the answer is yes, let's go to the rest. So for example, user acquisition, how you make the localized creatives, the operation, how you launch in the Chinese localized, Chinese local networks, for example, Binance, for example, Kuaishou is like a smaller TikTok. For example, the localizations, how you make sure that the game, the title name after translation makes sense and is very local and is very hyper casualish to who you trust to translate your babies, translate your games. For sure, it cannot be the Google translation, right? And also the branding. Maybe you want KOL, right? Also, this policy is interesting. I'm gonna mention in the end as well. So probably most of you heard of the strictest policy of China that only 3 hours possible for the minors. So these are things what you need to do if you need to be prepared. And the last, not the least, is Android. So we don't have Google Play. Instead of Google Play, we have numerous Android channels, Oppo, Vivo, Huawei, Xiaomi. So what you gonna do there? Instead of just stand here watching the clone version like showing up there, can you do something to monetize it? And if so, what about the technical integrations? Like because every store need different adaptations, right? So I think in general, like these are the main pain points when people think about entering China. So basically our service like have two parts. First of all is for sure the user acquisition side. So what we provide you is that we make you the creatives and we share back to you so that you can use in, for example, Unity, AdMob, in other video networks. The effort will not fall through the fingers. So we made them already. We don't mind to share back with you so you can use it elsewhere, right? And also we gonna make sure that the creative is gonna combine the most trendy points. So we call it haha points, the thing that make you laugh. So the TikTok-ish creatives. So this is our job to make sure that the creative tell the story, the creative represent your game well to reach the lowest CPI possible. And second is optimization. So we gonna in charge of everything on the local networks. For example, Binance, for example, Kuaishou. We manage the account. We share the account so you can log in, you see everything we do, and you communicate with us what's your ROS goal or what's your CPI target, and it's our job to reach it. And we're gonna update you like what we did and weekly basis, daily basis, like what's the strategy we're using now, what we suggest. So these are the things that we do for optimization. And last is for sure localization. Actually, this is the first step. So before we're talking about all of these, we're gonna make sure that your game is localized and localized well. So where to localize names, store screenshots, also the updates. This is also very important. So imagine you are a Chinese, don't speak any English, you go to the store and you see the updates note super long and everything in English. So you're gonna get scared and quit, right? So all these small points, you need to make sure they are localized well because like your game is perfect, like it's super good. You invest so much time. All these minor points, if you just simply localize them well, it's gonna like lift the performance by so much. Also the content, for sure, the in-game tags, and also, for example, the notifications. So after all these done, then let's talk about creative and optimization. And our second like main service is about publishing. So for Android market, it's just too hard for you to do it by yourself. I mean, you need a whole team to deal with the store relation, to deal with the integration, and not to mention the user acquisition. The same what I mentioned just now, you're gonna need the same here for the publishing side. So what we do, so first we provide the technical support. So we do all the technical integration for you, including the tracking, like Chinese tracking, right? The foreign, the Western ones doesn't work in China Android. Some of them work, but still like it's in early stage. also the monetization. Also, we're gonna help you to optimize the game content to add some like Chinese taste or remove the irrelevant part. And also, we're gonna make sure that your game is suitable on the low-end Android devices because the majority of the devices in China are low end. So we're gonna make sure that your game functions well for the majority of the devices. We're gonna test in each of the different device type to make sure that it functions well. And for sure, the growth is the same what I mentioned just now, is the user acquisition side. But here is like 10 major different Android stores, plus the user acquisition channels, ByteDance, Kuaishou, iQIYI, Tencent. So these are the, for this part, the user acquisition part is similar, but just more complicated here for Android, more channels. And about optimization, so we don't just take your game and put in Android store. Otherwise, it's not a publishing partnership. So we keep improving your performance of the China version, and we in charge of adding meta features for the Chinese audience. Example, I'm also gonna show a case in the end, but just example, daily check-in, skin redeem system, all these things we're gonna do for you. And also we're gonna keep optimizing the game. For example, we need to make sure that your game shows up interstitial comfortably. So usually the game perform well in China Android is those games that their interstitial show up in good timing, like it's comfortable for the interstitial show. So maybe we will reduce the time of each levels, or maybe we will just like remove some of the parts to make the game a little bit easier, or we just decrease the difficulty curve for the first, I don't know, 10, 20 levels. So we're gonna A/B test all these things to make sure that the monetization side is working good in China Android version. Okay. Also, it's our job to update you some new trends, what's going on, what's suitable in China. For example, this is something pretty new in China in TikTok. It's called game publisher mode. So basically, you can launch a task inside TikTok, and then all the audience, everyone can see it. They can just take the task and they post, I don't know, screenshots, screen recording of them playing, or they make a small drama, and then they can put the tracking link in their post, and then whoever downloads through this post, he can get paid. So this feature is using widely by like Chinese local hyper casual games. Not much foreign advertisers using them. Why? Because to be able to use this feature, you need to make sure your Android version is available, because the audience, you cannot filter the device type, right? Whoever see it, download it, that's it. So this is something new, and I think really worth trying. But like you need to make sure your Android version available there. So this is our job to update you and to make sure that you don't miss any opportunity here. All right, cool. Now let's talk about case studies, our favorite part. So this is with Type Nation, Giant Rush. Everyone is familiar with this game. So we partnered long before, like more than half year when they just launched, and they had a peak time in Spring Festival in China, which is February. They was like during all the Spring Festival time, they was in top 10 in China. So this is big because that's, except for the corona situation, I mean, that's the only time when Chinese have time to be with their family slash with their phone to be away from the work. So even nowadays, this game is still pretty solid, and they're still like top 50 gaming in China. So what we do, we have seamless like collaboration between the client Nation and the ByteDance. So we keep sharing cases, sharing our results, and we produce more than 5 new creatives every week for them. Keep trying, and we make like more than 100 ad groups to meet the performance goal per week. So this is the effort we did for this title. Also, not to mention the localization, this that they did long before the launch. So this is a case for user acquisition side in China, and show you some example of the creatives. So the creative trend in China is keep changing. So in the beginning of the year, I would say that the narrative, the storytelling creative works the best. So this one, let me play for you. Yeah, you can tell it's a robotic voice, right? So it works super well in China, and then I think the trend go to like the TikTok. After it's working well in China, and then it goes there. And in the beginning, when we make this kind of creative for our clients, some of our clients challenged us, saying like, why you cannot use a real actor actress, like why you're so lazy just to use robotic. But it's not the case, it's just a trend in China. So this is the like
才会让自己变大，而碰到不同，只有通过层层障
yeah.
碍。
So basically, the creative is just telling all the story, like how you play the game with the robotic voice, and it performed so well during all the Spring Festival. This one was the killer one. And for recent months, this creative is the best. Let me show you. It looks simple, right? It's just a screen recording. Yeah. So what's the secret? Is the Chinese text is the words here. So this creative is the style of I cannot reach pink. I cannot be the pink. So this type. So what's written there in Chinese is the final boss bullied me or bullies me. This is the words in Chinese, and it works so well for August. So yeah, you can see that the creative, like different for different time, different creative type works well. And the thing that we need to do, like as an agency, as a China local agency, is just to keep trying and make sure that your game is always have the new creatives to win in the market. And another success case to share is with Madbox. This is about Android publishing. So in peak time, they have 500,000 DAO in Android market. And again, when we talk about Android publishing, it's never about taking our game and directly launching the China market, launching the store. This can never work. So we created new features for China Android version. For example, in this screenshot, you can see that we made another ad unit. If you watch an RV, you can directly make your like character bigger before the game. So this worked well, improved the impression per DAO dramatically. And also we developed TikTok style skins, and we combine it with the user acquisition. For example, if you input the code, let's say 555, then you can get this TikTok skin directly. And how they know this information? On the creatives. So by making new creatives and making new skins, we combine with the UA effort, and it worked well. So this is a little bit old. I think the number here should be even bigger now, 25 million maybe. So we gained them like more than 20 million users already in China Android market. Cool. And what about the future? So this is a question mark, and I think no one really know the answer because the policy can comes out overnight, right? So this is actually like 2 days ago, 3 days ago, come out this news. So I decided to add another slide in this presentation. So in China, they have a new rule that for the minors, I mean kids between 18 years old, they can only play 3 hours a week. So for now, this is only impacting the online games. So for example, the games containing a purchase. For this kind of game, they have to comply with this rule. So far, it's not impacting hyper casual game yet. No one know like if it's really gonna impacting the hyper casual game in some time point. Let's say, for example, one day it's really gonna impacting the hyper casual games. But does it mean the end of this industry? I mean, does it mean the end of this genre? I don't think so. For sure, like okay, if the law is gonna happen, the CPI is gonna leave because not much people, or let's say some of the people wouldn't put their national ID, national like put their real name just to play a hyper casual game, right? Have people like this, but still maybe like, but still, even though with this rule, I don't think this means the end of this genre at all. So for sure, like I'm pretty positive of this. I'm thinking that for sure the industry is gonna figure out somehow a idea, or I don't know, a new subgenre to fix this issue, or let's say maybe all the hyper casual games move to more mid-core a little bit. No one knows, but still I'm very positive of this, and I think the value of a local agency like us is to make sure that we get all the first-hand information and we warn our clients before the thing really happens. So we warn you before the storm so you get prepared. I think that's the value of us, and we are on this road, and that's the things we keep doing. Okay. I think Yeah, that's it. That's all the things I want to share. Okay, now I see some questions. Let me put the page in here. So meanwhile, let me answer the questions. From Dimitri, uh, what if the app is stolen or copied? So in China, you have the copyright documents. Many of the games apply, but sadly, unless you really like email them, or you let's say you have the POC in this specific channel, there's not much you can do there. So if your game is really good, again, before you launch your game, you need to think of China. And if it's a genre that should work in China, when you do the global launch, you need to think of China already. Let's say, for example, parkour version, right? This genre, it definitely can work in China. So instead of get them copied, you just need to think of China and make a plan already. For example, partner with some agency, for example, like us, to make your real genuine version game already available in the store. And then, for example, what we do is that if we get a real game, we publish for our clients, then we have the certification. Let's say it's called authorization letter, and then with this letter, we can talk to different stores. We can ask them to remove the cloned version. That's a process. But if you are not doing anything here, there is not much you can do for the stolen ones. Yeah. So with Huawei, it's a bit problematic. So in Huawei, they need ISBN, they need banhao. So this is not much we can do here. They are strict. But for example, for Oppo, for Vivo, these stores they are still available, and the potential is really is also huge there. So Huawei store, no, it's really problematic in China to launch in Huawei store. You said we should think China before the Chinese publisher have interest on games which are not published yet or not successful in Western markets. Yeah, that's for sure. For example, maybe the metrics is good but not good enough to launch to make a global launch, but maybe we test in China the performance is amazing, I don't know. But like we don't see much these cases yet, because usually the case when we know them, when we in touch of the publishers, is already proven success. I mean, it's already, I don't know, top 10 top 20 in the US market, in the US chart. So if you have a game, you can like add me LinkedIn later, send me your game, give me some early metrics. For example, you for sure tested, I don't know, in TikTok or Facebook, what's the CPI you're seeing. And with the creative, we can make another marketability test in Android market to see if it's like worth trying. And then if we see some potential, maybe we can revise your game a little bit and try in China Android market. How long it will take to publish after we make a deal? So let's say for hyper casual game, right? It's quite easy. I think within 2 weeks, your game will be available in the stores. That's fast. But you need to make sure that your game is complete, no crash, everything. So usually the thing is that you need to think of China before the making your game. That's true. But still, like if a game didn't make success like in the worldwide launch, it's rarely can work in China. So usually when we get the game, it's success already in the US market, and there are cases they couldn't make it work in China as well. So yeah, it's like kind of biting itself. But still, I think the best is to like consult a trustable partner. So feel free to add me in LinkedIn and throw me your questions, share with me your links, your creatives, and yeah, we see. And for example, okay, so for example, the last question is you, I think you already have a game in mind, right? So just share with me your creative and we will see what deal we can make. So usually the deal is gonna be, I don't know, profit share here. It's case by case. So let's think after the presentation. Let's think after the panel. Cool. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So I think that's it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time. And if you have any questions, add me on LinkedIn.